Hello guys, and welcome to Mattsbeamer. Today's video is based on this 2005 BMW 325i in the E90 form. I want to say a big thank you to my next door neighbour who said I can film her car as she is trying to sell it. Any questions, just ask in the comments down below. The E90 is the 4-door saloon in the E9X range. It came in many different styles such as the coupe, the touring and the hardtop convertible, which was a first in the BMW range. It was released in 2005, though they call it the 2006 model. This car in the video was one of the first E90 saloons in Russia. It was released with quite a few different engine choices, from the 318i up to the sexy 330i. In my opinion, you can't beat having a straight 6 3 Series unless it's the V8 M3. Other model variants were soon added to the E90 range. The E90 saloon replaced a very popular E46 saloon, which I loved to bits. The E90 was totally different in the styling department compared to any other 3 Series made before it. It was made to take on the W203 Mercedes C-Class and the B6 and B7 LDA4. Anyway, let's start this in-depth tour. This car is finished in the beautiful colour Black Sapphire Metallic. In some lights it seems to have a tint of blue to it. It is also known as paint code 475. On the bonnet we have my favourite car badge, though it has the usual peeling. The grille on this car is very distinctive, and it's one feature to let you know it's a BMW, especially when you see it in your rearview mirror. The grille on the pre-facelift model is totally different to the later version. The top chrome edge is a lot thicker than the one that replaced it. It seems to have an upgraded grille due to having the chrome vertical slats. The headlights on this car are the upgraded xenon units. It really does help with the physical look of the E90, and more importantly, it helps you to see more in the dark. This is where the headlamp washers are. I didn't want to risk activating though, due to the condition of the front bumper. If you're unlucky enough to need a tow, this is where you screw in the towing eye. Obviously, remove the cover first. This car has front parking sensors, which send an audible sound through the stereo, which increases in speed the closer you are to an object. Cars with iDrive give you a visual display too. In the corner of this car's standard front bumper, you have the car's front fog lights. Let's wander around to the side of the car. The ground clearance is 5.7 inches, it is 178 inches long and 71.7 inches wide. The alloy wheels in this car are 16 inch and are known as the double spoked wheels, also known as Style 156. They are usually wrapped in 205 55R16 run flats, but these tyres are the special winter tyres for the snow. The front brakes are 300mm vented discs, and the front suspension is made up of the independent McPherson struts with coil springs and anti-roll bars. This car also has some mud flaps. Well, some of them anyway. Here's the side indicator. The front windscreen wipers are of the beam type. The jet washers are located in the same area. This car is also fitted with the infrared rain sensor. The side mirrors on this car are electronically adjustable. It has auto reverse tilt and are colour coded to the car. They also tint when a car behind has its lights on, so in theory it should prevent the person behind dazzling the driver. The door handles on this car are colour coded, and the driver's one has a key lock. This car does not have comfort access. Matching the chrome kidney grille, the car also has chrome window trim, which really gives it a classy feel and it helps emphasise the car's lines. The front windows have the standard tint, while I believe an aftermarket company tinted the rear ones, as they are extremely dark. Being a 2.5 lump, this car will need fuel. To open the rear fuel door, just press the door in so that it pops back out. There's also a little message inside which tells you which fuel to put in the car. The alloy wheels in this car are the same size as the front ones. Also, the vented disc brakes are the same size too. The rear suspension is made up of coil springs, anti-roll bars and multi-links. Also, the car has mud flaps on the rear too. Up on the roof we have 4 slide-along panels which allow you to attach things to the roof, such as a roof rack, or maybe your BMW bicycle. Now, at the back of the pre-facelifted car, starting at the top of this heated rear window, we have the third LED brake light. And as usual at the back we have the BMW logo, and to the right of that we have the model number badge in chrome. You can opt to have this deleted when ordering for free. The electric boot release is just under the BMW badge, between the 2 number plate bulbs. To the far right hand side you have the key slot. Not all BMW E90s have this. If you have it, you are lucky in my opinion, especially when your battery goes flat. Here are the rear taillights on the pre-facelifted model E90 saloon, though not everyone liked them at first. Here is the tow and eye cover, just like the front one. This car has 4 parking sensors on the rear. Being a 325i, this car has twin exhausts, which are quite pleasing to the eye. Let's have a look inside the car. But first, here's the key. Unlock, lock, and the boot release button. If you hold down the unlock button, all the windows will go down. To make them go back up again, just hold down the lock button. This car is also fitted with an alarm system, as you would expect really. The interior on this car feels very luxurious, with many options. This car includes real beige Dakota leather throughout the car, which looks great against the burr walnut fine wood trim, with touches of alloy and chrome all over the place. Starting with the top of the dash is usually where the iDrive screen would be, but this car just has air vents to clear the window instead. Let's insert the key into the slot and turn the ignition on by pressing the start up button. Now I can show you how everything works. Along the leading edge of the dash we have the 4 air vents. These wheels open and close the air vents. To adjust the direction, you need to adjust these chrome accented levers. This is where the hazard switch is located. If you want to lock all the doors, press this button. DTC turns on and off the dynamic traction control and the dynamic stability control. This wheel controls the amount of cool air sent through the upper vents. This is the BMW professional radio, connected to the basic 6-speaker setup. I must say though, that the sound is a lot nicer than the standard one on my F20. To turn on the sound system, you need to press the big knob on the left hand side. This is also the volume button. When you press audio, it brings up the audio choices, tuner, CD and auxiliary. These buttons below allow you to select the audio you desire. Each audio has its own unique setting. This is the CD slot, where the CD goes. This car also has provision to have a 6 CD changer in the boot. Press the eject button to eject the CD. If you press menu, it comes up with BC, configurator and BMW. BC is basically the onboard computer, which gives you information such as average fuel consumption, average speed, and the range and the temperature. You can actually reset these back to 0. Configurator allows you to change the settings of the computer, for example from kilometers to miles. And the BMW menu is basically just a list full of telephone numbers provided by BMW. These arrows here allow you to change the track or radio station. M is not for an extra 100 brake horsepower on this car, it just allows you to manually fine-tune the radio stations. It would have been cool though. The clock button is a fast way to see the time and date. The musical note gets you into the sound settings for adjusting the bass, fader, etc. The phone puts it into phone mode, but unfortunately this car does not have a telephone fitted. Now down to the upgraded automatic climate control system. These 3 buttons allow you to change where you want the air to be directed, basically zone control. The rotational wheels control the temperature on the side of the vehicle you are sitting. The driver can be hot while the passenger can be cold. Max basically means the car will try its hardest to cool down the interior as quick as it can. Auto adjusts the climate control automatically to your desired needs. The 7-speed fan button. The automatic recirculated air button. This rest button is used to heat up the cabin using the heat from the engine while you're parked up with the engine off, so basically when you're having a rest. Heated front window, heated rear window. And this one here turns the air conditioning on and off. Underneath the climate control, we have a few buttons and a few blanks. This car here has heated front seats with 3 levels of heating, and this button here turns off the parking sensors. This car here has the smoker's package, but it has never been used, so I don't know why they ordered it really. Just press down the burr walnut lid and the ashtray will open. Inside is the lighter, which goes into the 12-volt power socket. This car here was opted with the 6-speed auto ZF gearbox, which is a Steptronic unit. To put it in manual mode, just select drive and move the gear lever to the left. Then move the gear shifter forward or backwards to change gear. You can see what gear you're in by looking at the instrument cluster, M1 through to M6. On the posher cars, this would be the iDrive controller, but on this car, it's just the storage compartment. Here is the conventional handbrake, which I actually prefer over these newer systems. This is the armrest. It can be adjusted forwards and backwards, and it also opens up. This big space is where the telephone would go. The 12-volt power socket and auxiliary port. This switch here turns off and on the air circulation. power steering on this car is of the old school style, fluid. The steering wheel is an upgraded version. It is covered in leather and has many buttons. On the left hand side you have the volume controls, the voice command and the telephone buttons if your car has a telephone fitted. The horn is in the centre of the wheel. This one must have a loose wire somewhere. On the right hand side of the wheel you have your source button, for example CD, tuner and auxiliary, then the recirculated air button, and this button here allows you to go to the next or previous track. The instrument cluster is very BMW. On the left hand side you have the speedo and the fuel gauge. In the centre you have the onboard computer screen, which is adjusted by the left indicator stalk. On the right hand side you have the rev counter and economy gauge, which I actually miss on my F20. The left stalk is the indicator stalk, which controls the main beam control, the onboard computer and, surprisingly enough, the indicators. The BC button is a select button and also changes the menu. The menu shows things such as the range, the average speed and miles per gallon. The scroll wheel brings up new menus such as check control, which checks for faults and allows you to set the time and date. The right hand stalk is for controlling the wipers. The A button is to put it into auto mode. Cruise control is below the indicator stalk, which allows you to increase and decrease and set the speed, as you would expect. Let's open the door for a better view of down here. Below the air vent we have the light control system. This model also has the automatic headlamp control, which dips the main beams for you when a car comes towards you with its lights on. These are the buttons for the fog lights. Down here we have the OBD2 socket for the diagnostics machine, the bonnet release and the pedals. To the left of the steering wheel we have the steering wheel adjustment lever. Just pull it down and you'll be able to raise the height and the distance from the driver. Push the lever back and it will lock the wheel back up into place. The door handle feels nice and solid, finished in fake aluminium. One of the 6 speakers. Here are the door grabs. Not the best quality in my opinion, but the rest of the door feels like it's covered in leather. Here are the visual door locks. I like the bits of burr walnut trim all over the place of the car. The front storage bins are quite small in my opinion. Up top are the electric mirror adjustment controls. The copper colour on the glass is basically the mirror leaking fluid. This switch here allows you to change which mirror you want to adjust. Here are the electric window switches. All 4 windows have one touch up and one touch down. This button here basically cuts the power out to the rear windows. Ideal if you have children or fiddly people in the back. Here is the rear view mirror. The red light on the bottom tells you that the alarm is on. Up here is a sensor that tints the rear view mirror. The mirror also has a sensor on the front of it. This sensor dips the main beams when a car is coming towards you automatically. Further on up are the map lights. These lights here give the interior a warm orange glow. This is the main interior light switch. These holes here are the holes for the alarm sensor. Here are the sun visors. They have a card holder just here and a slide along panel with a mirror behind it. When the lights are on, the lights turn on when you open the mirror. The grab handles are soft closing. The rear ones have a little hook, ideal for hanging up your business suit. Let's jump out of this car and see what else we can see. Well, the floor mats are rubber, ideal for the Russian winters. This lever here next to the speaker under the seat moves the seat forward and backwards. This area here would have extra buttons for the car's seat adjustment. This lever here adjusts the car's seat height. and this one here adjusts the backrest's angle. I like the BMW logo in this door shut. Okay, let's have a look on the passenger's side. This car doesn't have the usual front cup holders, which surprised me. The glove box is kinda small, sorry about the mess. Here is the key adapter for the valet key. It's good to see that this glove box is lockable too, unlike my F20. The passenger's window has one window switch, and the same adjustment in the seats as the driver's one. Now, let's have a look in the back of the car. It sounds like this door needs a bit of grease. Right, in the back here, it's quite basic. You get the window switch to play with, as long as the driver hasn't pushed that button. The people in the back get a net to shove all their stuff into. Here's the view of the front, from the back seats. Oops, there's my tripod, sorry about that. I'm also sorry if it goes dark in the back, it's due to the tinted windows. In the centre, you have adjustable air vents. The quality of them isn't as high as the rest of the car though. At least the rest of the rear of the car has good materials though. Up here we have a similar setup to the front's interior lighting. It's quite comfortable in the rear. The driver's seat is set to my position in the front and I'm 6 foot tall. This car has 3 rear headrests. The centre one folds down with the press of a button. Behind the headrests are the 2 rear speakers. Here is the centre rear armrest. And if you push this button here, cup holders pop out. Push it again to put them away. Here is the ski hatch, made for carrying long items in the boot. There are 4 ISOFIX points, and here is a black buckle. Let's have a look in the boot. Press the button in the centre to open. I'm sorry about the mess again. And the boot struts are dead too, so it might fall on my head. The boot space is 460 litres, which is a nice size. Though, if you want more practicality, go for the E91 Touring. Under here is some underfloor storage. To the left you have storage and the warning triangle. To the right, under this cover, is the car's battery. This is where the tools are usually kept, and here is the towing eye, which screws into the holes. You pull these levers here to fold down the rear seats. Easy to use and saves you hurting your back. They fold down in a 40-60 ratio, and they also fold quite flat. Let's pull the bonnet release and check out that engine. This car, being a 2005 325i, means it has the 2.5 litre straight 6, codename the N52. It is fitted in the engine bay, longitudinal to the car's chassis. That was a bit of a hard word to say. It has 218 horsepower, at 6,500 revs per minute. It sends 250 Newton meters of torque to its rear wheels. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes 7 seconds, and it has a top speed of 152 miles per hour, which is more than quick enough. Let's start this machine up and listen. Just so you know, the car has been warmed up. It sounds a lot quieter inside. Unfortunately, the camera is rubbish at picking up the exhaust sound due to bad wind. Not my bad wind, but the wind in the air. Thank you for watching this long video on the E90. There should be a video coming soon on replacing the starter motor on this actual car. I just hope that all the footage is okay. Thank you and take care. And please share, like and subscribe. I would be most grateful. Take care.